Morning, everybody. It's the 7th of October. We're Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Ian Coleman. How you doing, Ian?
I'm very well, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Still no Steve. He's off for the whole week on his holidays. I don't know if he's gone away anywhere, but just enjoying some time away. How's it all going, Ian? What's going on with the markets today? What have you seen overnight that's taken your interest?
Trump put the cat amongst the pigeons yesterday, didn't he? I think it was about 7 o'clock last night. He actually did 40 Trumps in 2 hours.
He probably did that as well.
He did 40 tweets.
Might be all the steroids doing that.
In 2 hours yesterday. Supposedly, this stuff that he's taken, it makes you feel like you're invincible. They give it to people that get Ebola, but then there's quite a bad after effect. And of course, when he came out of hospital, he turned around and said, "I feel the best I felt in 20 years."
Yeah.
And now he's just like a man possessed. And basically, he's stopped the stimulus. So they were talking to, in the House of Representatives, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yep.
They were talking about extra stimulus package. He's now turned around and basically said, I'm not going to do that anymore, not until after I win the election, and then I'm going to do a big beauty one. So that saw...
yeah, he's obviously confident.
Yeah.
For those drugs coursing through his veins.
Well, I watched the last episode of the Comey Rule last night, and it's just phenomenal. You've got to watch it. What he got away with and what he's getting away with. He basically sacked the whole of the FBI, and instated his own guys in there.
People that have worked their whole lives to get to those positions, and just
but it's not just that. It's supposed to be an independent, system.
Well, so is the Fed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he looks over his shoulder, doesn't he? Over Jerome Powell's shoulder, telling him what to do.
Yeah, exactly. So he's power mad, basically.
Indeed.
But anyway, so that saw quite a decent dip in stock indices, but they've all reversed this morning, and there was a bit of a run for the safe haven dollar, which was obviously good for my trade of the day, even though it did sort of come in a bit late in the day, but.
Well, I've got on the screen the Nasdaq. That was my trade of the day. We talked about this head and shoulders pattern forming, and I'll give you one guess if you can tell where my stop loss was. Just there.
Yeah, lovely.
Classic, eh?
Yeah.
So this was. I don't know what happened, but this was 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that was his tweet.
So his tweet's gone out, and for some reason, the first reaction is, boom, take all those stop losses out, and then whoosh, straight through the floor. And that's just the way these markets are at a minute.
But I mean, look at the recovery. I mean, do you think Trump's got a little hedge fund that he's running in the background somewhere?
Wouldn't be surprised by anything nowadays.
I'm just gonna tweet this one, boys. He's probably got the boys at Deutsche Bank that have lent him the 300 odd million. He's probably got them.
That's the way you can pay his debt off, isn't it?
Trading a few bucks for him, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the FTSE. Also wanted to highlight this. This is just an hourly chart. Very choppy trading, to be totally honest with you. Range bound between these sort of barriers here.
Was that an hourly chart, Joe?
Yeah, hourly chart. I mean, what I wanted to highlight was the last 3 days we've had these candles at 8 o'clock in the morning, or just before 9 o'clock in the morning. So we had this one on Monday, we had this one yesterday, and now we've got this one today. So we are seeing turnarounds at around about this time, and we have done for the last 2 mornings, but they haven't really held at all. They've just rallied straight back up in the opposite direction. This was the Trump tweet yesterday, so it was a negative reaction from the FTSE. It's recovered all of that and then made some extra points on top of that. But that is a nasty looking candle on the hourly chart, in line with this resistance here. So it's really challenging. And these tweet bombs that are being chucked around by Trump, are not helping, and yeah, it's really challenging. I don't know if it's a similar situation in the FX side of things.
Definitely. I mean,
Okay.
I've been looking a lot at symmetrical patterns, Gartley's, crabs, blah 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 blah. Yesterday, and just seeing if you can get them to sort of line up with any of our sort of bespoke support and resistance levels. And it's this was the move higher in the dollar index yesterday. But as you can see, this 4-hour chart, like Joe was saying in the indices, you've got an evening doji star here now. If you just zoom in a little bit, and we've got FOMC tonight, so this really could go anywhere. This is prime support down here, so really in sort of no man's land at the moment, 92.89, and this is prime resistance. So if we get up to that level, I'd be tempted to sell it. If we get up to this level, I'd be tempted to buy it to sell it, if you see what I mean. So down, up, and then down again, and it sort of reflects pretty well on most of the sort of FX majors, that move. This is euro dollar, so pretty choppy trading. That was that aggressive sell-off last night, which again is being reversed this morning. This is an ABCD formation target, so that's at 118.53, and then 118.58 is this 61.8% fib in a confluence area, and you sort of can go through the majority of the FX majors and get the same sort of viewpoint. Here is cable, so a little bit different. Potential head and shoulders. If we get down to this level, 127.30-ish, swing low is a bit higher than that. I think the swing low is 127.60. So 60.30, that's worth a buy up to this level. But also, if you get up to this level, it's worth a sell. So we're just in no man's land. This is the one that I quite fancy for over the FOMC. Is actually trying to buy dips round about here because the baskets are lining up. So the basket is basically saying that limited downside in the dollar, but also limited upside in Swiss. So obviously buying dollars, selling Swiss is looking quite favourable. Whereas the other baskets, i.e. the sterling basket, the euro basket, the Canadian basket, New Zealand basket, they're all in sync at the moment with the dollar, so they're moving in the same direction. And a lot of the time when that happens, you get this intraday fluctuation and pretty choppy trading. So Aussie dollar again, sort of right down here, but sorry, Aussie dollar CAD is sort of prime support. So they're all sort of lining up with 61.8% fibs, and a lot of the fibs are a lot closer, obviously, than other ones. Euro sterling, I thought was quite interesting. The euro basket looks a lot stronger than the sterling basket. We did react from here, which was a 50% pullback level, and we did react from here, which is an 88.6% pullback level. So these are perfect sim tops and bottoms, basically, and that should dictate that we get a move higher up towards this sort of level. But obviously sterling is extremely volatile at the moment with regards to Brexit talks, etc. Euro yen, this is the last one that I was sort of going to look at. Again, stock indices are moving to the upside. We've got a confluence area here at 125.28. So I'm tempted on this one for my trade of the day, or I might look at Euro Swiss. But to sort of just to highlight what we've been talking about, so the dollar's sort of mid-range, dip buying or selling rallies, and that's resulted in most of the dollar majors being in the same situation. And I think that we're probably going to get a risk on day, at least up to the FOMC tonight at 7 o'clock.
Okay, I think you may be right. Just coming back to these indices, obviously we've talked about choppy price action in suggested very much the same in FX world. This is the daily chart of the FTSE. So this is a wedge pattern that the market just seems trapped within. Within that we've got an even tighter range somewhere in there. French market, same within this wedge, not really going anywhere. DAX, we did see a break of a wedge there, so maybe we're about to see a retest of that somewhere around 13,055. depends obviously where you want to draw it, but I quite like the idea of that one. US markets, you can argue they broke out of a wedge and are continuing higher, but choppy price action
Yeah.
here and some large candles forming as well. So the average range on the market over the last few days has increased. So it's a real challenge, and I think it's going to be another tough day ahead of FOMC minutes later today. We've also got US crude inventories at 3:30. Oil's actually had a decent move in the last couple of days on the intraday side of things. This is the hourly chart. Just get rid of those drawings. So from the lows that we saw on Friday, we're continuing this move higher, and that's actually been seen in a lot of the oil stocks as well as they recover from some of their lows. But we're possibly into some resistance here in the very short term. So with inventories at 3:30, there could be some more volatility in that. In terms of news elsewhere, more cases of COVID. We're all bored of that, but Germany had been resistant to to another resurgence, but they've come back with sweeping restrictions to contain the pandemic, including late night curfews for bars and restaurants in some of the main cities like Frankfurt and Berlin. I think we're all sort of waiting to see what Trump tweets next or what the FOMC say next. Really, I think that's going to dictate the whole day.
Was it in France that you've got to keep your mask on in between mouthfuls now, or something stupid?
Oh fucking hell! Just don't go out, do you? If that's the case.
No, but the French do like to eat out, don't they? But
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to keep on whipping your mask on and off. I think you're probably better off with one of those visors, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe.
So you can
get
get your spoon underneath.
Idiots. Okay, gun to the head yesterday. We sort of roughly alluded to it earlier, but I got stopped out of the Nasdaq by Trump's tweet on a spike through a resistance level before it then died. But Ian managed to keep things on near enough an even kilter with a win on dollar index of 0.88R. So a small loss overall, but we go again today. So Ian, you were talking about Euro Yen or Euro Swiss. Have you made your mind up yet?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Euro Swiss only because the target level is a lot better. So again, looking at is this a Gartley? It's sort of a Gartley. It's a bit of a mixed match Gartley. It's more of a bat than a Gartley. But we've sort of moved up to this level, just spiked through 61.8%. These pullbacks are quite important. So basically, that leg there, BC, should be 88.6% of AB. And
so would you not say that C in this instance is that low that you've got there on the chart, just to the left of it? There.
Yeah.
Is that?
No, yeah. I was actually just sticking it on there just to show that 88.6.
Right,
but
okay.
Yeah, the swing low should be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's looking pretty good. And the target level, if it hits the 88.6, because they're symmetrical patterns, is up here at 88.6. So that's 88.6 of the whole move, basically. And you get these forming in all sorts of time frames. And a lot of the time when you're expecting breakouts and you're looking at Elliott wave and you're looking at different things like that, a lot of the time these are just forming and you're just getting chopped about in between what you're perceiving to be wave patterns, and they're not, basically. So getting long at 107.78. I'll have my stop below the swing low, which is 107.65, targeting 108.59, which gives 5.8R. But like I said, that's a 4-hour chart, so I'll be lucky to get that.
You never know. Right, so I'm going to take a look at FTSE, and I've not had much joy with the indices of late. Keep getting chopped around with them, but here I am again. This is a range that I've sort of drawn on the chart, the hourly chart. We talked about earlier these candles that keep forming at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that was the one on Monday. Then we had where's the other one I was fine yesterday? Yeah, that one yesterday. We got another bearish looking candle now, shooting star candle in at this resistance level. So I'm going to sell it here, which is at 59.49. Stop loss above those highs, 59.82, I'm going to target a move to the lower end of that range at 57.80. Let's call that. Just a couple of ticks in front. So 5R on that one if that
Lovely.
plays out today. But
Good luck.
yeah, we shall see. It's choppy, so who knows. News-wise, Canada IV PMI at 3 p.m. US inventories, crude inventories at 3:30, and then the big one at 7 p.m. is the FOMC minutes. These will help reveal the thinking of the committee members regarding the current monetary policy and what they're going to be doing with interest rates and QE and other bits and pieces. So let's see what happens then.
What's this one tomorrow? I've not seen this one before. Governor Bailey speaking from the UK tomorrow at 8:25 UK time. But then the FPC statement, the Financial Policy Committee. Yeah, it's a new one to me. Blah, blah, blah.
Have we got GDP tomorrow?
It was overnight, wasn't it? I think that's the day after. I think that's Thursday. I deleted all those charts.
Okay, never mind.
Let's have a look. Thursday. I've got to refresh it all. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Might be too late tomorrow if it's before the market. We have definitely got some numbers. It's on the 9th. There's a load of UK numbers out before market.
Yeah, about 7 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah, industrial production, manufacturing production. Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's wrap it up for today then anyway. Have a good day if you're trading. Good luck, and we'll all see you all tomorrow morning.
Indeed. Enjoy.
Cheers, bye.
Cheers.